I have a reputation for just up and leaving men. I actually don't like you. That's when I was like, oh, like
a pretty brown girl in space. You can keep your glitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey, better way.
So today we're gonna be talking about how to know when it's time to leave. I feel like this is very important. You know, if you're part of the army, you already know that I've went through so much. I've been in a few relationships where, you know, it wasn't easy to get out. It wasn't easy to even be in. So I'm gonna share my point of view of how to know when it's time to leave. Anytime that it's time for me to leave a man, I go through this exact process. Sometimes it happens without me realizing it happens. We're gonna talk about it all today, so let's get into it. So I'm gonna be doing a makeup look to match these earrings. These are the Karen and Rita maxi earrings. I think I want to do something a little more on the simple side. I want to take some pictures today. I want to do my makeup super pretty and super nice. If you want a pair of these earrings, you can check out my description box. They are from the Karen and Rita website. That is my jewelry brand actually, so make sure you guys are checking it out. So first and foremost, if you are new here, which some of you might not be new here, some of you might. If you're new, hey, welcome to the army. I'm gonna share a little bit of background about me, you know, some of my journey, so that you guys can kind of understand my point of view of where I'm coming from. I'm a Cancer woman, which means I love very, very, very hard. And I've been in a few relationships. As of recently, my recent breakup was about probably almost 2 years ago. And I was in that relationship for a really, really, really long time. I was in that relationship for about like 4 years. I remember when I was in it, it was a lot of things that I wanted that I wasn't getting. You know, it was just so, it was a lot. I needed to learn and I needed to know. And so now that I'm out of it, I can reflect and look back and say, wow, like the signs were all there. I'm gonna be using the Pat McGrath's Mothership palette today. This is what it looks like. You know, being in a long-term relationship, I was so caught up in, you know, once you're in a long-term relationship, it's really, really hard to leave, okay? After like year 2 or 3, it was really hard to leave because I would not leave. I just would not leave because honestly, to me, like, I'm a really loyal girl. You get what I'm saying? I'm very, very loyal. I'm very down to earth when it comes to like relationships and stuff like that, which has actually made me get heartbroken a lot. And you know, sometimes people take your kindness as a weakness. Yeah, I've been a really like, you know, loyal person. So to me, it's like, no, like, you know, like this is the person I've been with all the time, so this is the person I'm gonna stick with. If you're not new here, I'm gonna just let you know about, you know, a lot of perspectives that people have on me. A lot of people have a perspective on me that, you know, I just up and leave people. I do up and leave people, but it's after a certain time. I'm gonna share the moments with you that I went through when I knew it was time to leave. Sometimes you may not wanna leave this person. Sometimes you really may feel like this person is for you, but sometimes you have to leave. You cannot stay somewhere where you're not wanted, appreciated, loved, valued. Also, where you're not even your best self. You may love this person for this many reasons, but do you love yourself right now in this moment? And if the answer is no, then I have a reputation for just up and leaving men. Honestly, that reputation comes from knowing my worth, knowing what I don't deserve or have to accept. I definitely go through the process of detaching myself. In another video, we could talk about like, you know, the process of detaching yourself and how to do it, this and that. But today I'm gonna let you know the little red flags that you may be getting. It's time to exit. One of the main signs that it's time for me to leave a person is when I start daydreaming about being single. That is literally such a red flag. And I don't think a lot of women actually realize that they may even be daydreaming about what it's like to be somewhere else, a life without that person that you're currently with. And I envisioned myself like, okay, let's say this. I'm gonna say exactly how I told my therapist. I literally told my therapist verbatim, you know, when I see my higher self, I don't see this person with me. Like I don't see them. And seeing your higher self, seeing the person that you want to be in the future, it's very important because it will help you make decisions today. I've always been a visionary, so I've always been able to see into the future and see what type of person I wanted to be, or see what I wanted in the future. I would daydream about like being by myself. Oh my God, like what is it gonna look like? Like I cannot wait to like talk to other guys. You know, I missed being single. Like I can't wait to just like do other things, you know, not have to call this person. Or those were literally daydreams. They were fantasies. Like I started having fantasies about just being by myself. If you ever find yourself daydreaming about what it's like to be without this person, it's definitely time to exit, sis. One thing about it is that you should be super happy in your relationship and you should love being with your person, even if you guys are on bad terms and they're getting on your nerves right now. If you really want to be with this person and you envision yourself with this person, there will be no such thing as a daydream. If you're meant to be with this person, God will not allow you to see a vision that cannot come true. You should truly love being in your relationship, even if it's not on the best terms, or you know, you guys are not the best right now. You should still enjoy being with that person and still want to be with that person, because you wanting to be there is gonna allow you to put in the effort to make it work. If you don't want to be there and you're envisioning yourself with someone else, it is definitely time to exit, because there's nothing good that's gonna come out of that. Okay, I'm gonna do my eyeliner and I'll be back. All right, you guys, so I kind of changed my makeup, my eyeshadow around. I really wasn't feeling that other look. I like this look more. I wanted to do something a little more fun. We're gonna move on to the face and let's talk more about why it's time to leave him. All the products I use are gonna be listed below, so make sure you're checking my description box. Another way to know that it's time to leave is when you feel almost obligated to stay with this person. Love should not feel like a task. Obviously, putting in effort and making things work is not always gonna be easy, and it's gonna take some effort. Staying with someone should not feel like, oh, I'm stuck here type of thing. You should never feel like that. You should be in it because you want to be in it, not because you have to be in it. And truth be told, you don't have to be in anything that you don't want to be in. You don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. At the top of 2022, I left my long-term relationship. When I left, I had really grasped the concept that I don't have to do this if I don't want to. And I literally just up and left. I feel like before that, I did not know that I had choices. Sometimes when you're with someone for so long, it can end up feeling like, where are you gonna go? And so I had to really grasp the concept of that I'm still young, I don't have any kids, and even if you, let me just make this disclaimer, even if you do have kids, you still don't have to stay anywhere that you don't want to stay. For me personally, I'm young, I'm pretty, I don't have any kids, I have my own career and my own, you know, money where I don't have to stay here. I had to really find the confidence. Sometimes leaving a partner that you actually have been with for a really long time is really hard. Like, it's not that easy, because sometimes you get stuck up on the fact that, you know, you was in love with this one person and now they're a different person. All relationships have hardships. Hardship is a given. You know, no relationship is gonna be easy. If you feel you are obligated to stay there for whatever reason, I'm letting you know right now that you don't have to do anything that you don't want to do. You can literally pack your shit right now and go. Only thing that's holding you back is not having the courage. And I know a lot of women might say like, well, I don't have any money, I don't have anywhere to go, I don't have this, I don't have that. And I completely understand that, because everyone's circumstances are different. For me, it was very different. You know, I work from home and I make my own money, so it was easier for me to get up and leave. I've heard stories about women up and leaving, and you know, they had to stay in a shelter for 2-3 months to get themselves back on track. They had to stay with family members. There's always an option. You might not feel that, you know, what you want your life to look like, but understand that that is a stepping stone in a moment in time of you rebuilding yourself back up. Understand that that shelter or staying with family or doing this or doing that is a moment in time. It does not last forever. When I realized that I was making myself a prisoner in a relationship that I did not want to be in, because I felt obligated to stay because, you know, I've been with this person for so long and I lived with them, and oh my God, when you live with someone, you're in like a contract lease and all of this stuff. I came to the conclusion that I don't don't gotta do none of this shit. I don't have to do anything that I don't want to do. That was part of it. You know, I stayed for so many reasons, and it wasn't because I wanted to be there. Honestly, so crazy to think about, because as someone who is really young, it's almost like, you know, someone older would probably look at me and be like, you have the whole world in your hands. And I had to look at myself in that perspective, like, I really don't have to be here. Like, I could be doing any and everything I want. You get what I'm saying? Sometimes when you're in the cycle of being so upset with your partner, you literally get stuck there. So it gets hard to leave. Another red flag that should tell you that it's time to leave: you guys don't have any great communication, you're not compatible, and you don't spend that much time together. Now, I know that this seems like common sense to most, but to a lot of people who are in this situation, this might not be common sense. This might be something that they're hearing for the first time. So in the history of my relationship, I would notice that my relationships were ending when I didn't want to spend any time with them and I didn't want to do anything. One of my long-term relationships, I would spend a lot of time by myself. So I had a lot of time to think, and honestly, I had a lot of time to daydream. Remember, I said this is one of the first things. I had a lot of time to daydream about and envision my life without that person, because I had a lot of time by myself. Once I started to realize that, you know, I had no physical connection with that person, then that's when it became real to me. Right now, I date someone who, when I started to realize that, you know, it was time to leave, I started to notice that I was spending a lot of time by myself. It was like, you know, I was going months without even being physical with anyone, yet let alone the person I was in a relationship with. I would go literally like months. It became a point where I didn't even want to do it anymore. That's when I was like, oh, I used to notice that I didn't want to do it, but I would still, like, you know, engage in physical touch and physical intimacy, and still kind of, I was never really satisfied and stuff like that. But when I finally started to say, no, I'm not engaging in this because I don't want to do this, then that's when it became super real to me. I was like, okay, there's no way I can live the rest of my life like this. Like, I'm sorry. There's absolutely no way that I can live my life this miserable. And so a lot of people like to say that, you know, physical doesn't matter. A physical relationship with the person that you adore and are in love with absolutely matters. Like, it 100% matters, especially if it's your love language. I really didn't realize that that was one of my top love languages. I did not realize that, but I'm happy I did. And you know, sometimes you have to go through these hard relationships where you're literally like not happy, not getting your needs met, and just like, you know, see different for yourself, for you to actually see different for yourself and then get different. And so every relationship that you go in is always going to be a learning experience, and you have to know which ones are the learning experience, and you have to know what the lesson is. You can't just go into something and leave angry and think like, oh, this person did this that to me. Like, we would love to all say like, oh, this person hurt my feelings and this and that. There's always a lesson in everything. Maybe one of your past relationships was to let you know that you need someone who is, maybe you need someone who is a little more emotional. Every failed relationship will bring you closer to the person that you're meant to be with, because when you get in these failed relationships, there's things that you don't like, and some of your red flags, some of your boundaries, some of your don'ts that you have to check off. And when you finally meet that one person, those things will already be checked off where you won't have to check it. They will be perfect for you. Another hint that it's time to go, put it in effort is exhausting. Put it in effort in your relationship should literally never feel like a task. And I'm not gonna say it should never feel like a task. Actually, I take that back, because sometimes when you are at it with your person, you have to compromise, and that is a task in itself. You know, sometimes you want to be really strong and really aggressive and really hard and, you know, stand your ground, but sometimes you have to put your feelings to the side and compromise, because maybe your person needs a little bit more from you that day than you need from them. So that's neither here or there. Even if it comes to a point where you're kind of just like, oh my God, like this relationship is so exhausting, like I don't feel like doing this, you should definitely leave that relationship. Love and cherish your relationship. You want to make it work. You want to figure this out. Like you want to get to the bottom of this because you don't want to fight with this person. You don't want to be on bad terms with this person because you love them so much. Like I'm a talker, okay? I like talking. I'm gonna talk, and you know, I like communicating a lot. There are things that are wrong with our relationship or our friendship or honestly anything. If there is something that is wrong, I'm gonna bring it up, okay? And this is gonna be another video of why men hate me, because I literally address everything. I'm not gonna say everything, like, cause that's annoying, but you know, we're not gonna just like sit around and act like nothing's happening, nothing's going on. Like who the hell does that? You get what I'm saying? I'm always addressing stuff. Like if there's an elephant in the room, I'm going to the elephant like, what's up? If I get to that point where I don't even do that, I'm definitely checked out. Like I'm all the way checked out. I'm at a point where like I don't even care if we talk about it. It doesn't matter because nothing's gonna change because my mind is made up. And there were definitely times that I would feel like that in some past relationships, and I wouldn't even know that it was because my mind was already made up that I was leaving this person. That is just so crazy to me. You can literally like go through that in your mind and not even know it. And so if I get to the point where I stop addressing stuff and I stop talking and I stop, you know, bringing things up, putting in my effort and making it work because I'm trying to communicate, then you're fucked. You have to really love and want your relationship for you to put in that effort, and it's not exhausting and tiring and you don't want to do it and it feels like this. I'm gonna also say this goes for men as well. You ever been in a relationship where like the man is not helping communicate? He's not doing this, he's not doing that. It's because he don't want to, because he don't care. And like I keep saying this, but that's gonna be another video. I have so many girls topics for us to discuss. Also, you could leave more down below, but someone is not communicating or doing the things to make it work. It's because it's so exhausting to them that they rather give up than to actually put in the effort. If you get to that point where putting in effort is like a to-do task and it's like exhausted, it's definitely time to leave. Like I said, love should not feel like that. Love should feel it's not always gonna be peaceful, but love should feel natural. Opening a door or walking, it should feel normal and natural, and making it work and putting in the effort to do certain things to let your person know that you love them and appreciate them is what comes with being in a relationship. And if you're not doing those things, it's definitely time to leave, because what are you there for? Another reason to know that it is time to go: if you actually don't like them as a normal person and you are with them because you have an idea of who you want them to be or who you thought they were. A lot of people get into relationships for this reason. They get into relationships because they have an idea of a person. You know, people have also dated me because they have an idea of me, and it hasn't worked out because I'm not here to live up to your standards, and vice versa. Other people are not here to live up to your standards of what you think they should be. And if they are not the person that you envision them as, you're annoyed, not happy, and for that reason you need to leave them alone, because this will benefit you and them. This doesn't just benefit them, this also benefits you, because why are you somewhere where you don't like being? I think the biggest part is also noticing that you don't like the person. Would you be friends with this person outside of your idea of them, or if you wasn't dating them? There's a lot of people that I dated that I dated in my past, and I end up realizing like I actually don't like you. I also want to say that this is a huge thing that men deal with. They deal with a lot of females, obviously, and a lot of times they don't like the females that they're with. They cannot admit it to themselves because they're not emotionally available. No one has taught them to recognize their own emotions or what they may be feeling or experiencing. So I'm here to let you know that you need to really know that if you really like a person that I'm with right now, you know, as women, we get caught up in the fantasy. We get caught up in, you know, I'm Cinderella, I need my Prince Charming. Anybody that comes along, we're gonna give them the role, and when they're not doing the duties of the role, we're mad. That's literally our fault. If you are experiencing this, take accountability and know that, you know, You have to genuinely like someone for them to be with them and make it last. All goes together with being able to put in effort. Me and my partner are not on the best terms. It is nothing for me to put in effort because I like them. I like who they are. You know, I want to see them happy. I want to see them do well. When you don't like someone, you're like, I don't care if they're mad. You know, I don't care. Like, fuck them. Yeah, they're mad. Okay, good. That's not okay. Okay, so off camera, I did my eyeliner. I only did a little bit of eyeliner, and I did my lashes. So I'm actually gonna do my hair as well, and I'll be back. I just finished my hair. This is what it looks like. Anyway, back to the topic at hand. I feel like one of the biggest and the most important is to know when to leave when you're not happy, the partner, and most of all yourself. When you're not happy with yourself, you cannot be committed to a relationship 110%. A lot of times we get in relationships and we become unhappy, or the relationship not good, that it makes us realize things about ourselves that we need to fix, because we're so distracted by being upset with our partner. We don't take the lesson out of it that, hey, actually I need to fix this, you know? I feel like one of my things that I noticed about myself from being in my past relationships and not being happy was that I could get angry really fast, and once I get upset, my mouth is like lethal, like, you know. And honestly, that's nothing to brag about. You know, I know a lot of people like to brag that they could get like mean and nasty, but me, because I'd never seen myself as that person, and now that I'm out of my bad situations, I'm realizing that, you know, I didn't have to, like, you know, be so cutthroat, because when you love yourself and you're happy with yourself, you don't have to attack. Even if you are being attacked, you don't have to attack back because you are happy with yourself. I realized that I would attack because obviously I was being attacked at the moment, yes, but also I was just miserable in general, and I just was not happy with my life was going. So if the person that I was with would make me mad, it would give me just the reason to just attack. It just gave me the perfect opportunity to just attack and be, you know, mean. I notice now that if I ever feel like I want to be angry or mean or anything like that with anyone, then there's a deeper problem, and I like to try to just dissect those things. There's a lot of people in this world who cannot do that because they don't notice that there is a deeper problem. They truly think that they are just acting the way they act because someone else did this. But you have to understand that no one can make you act like anything. You have total control and power over you. No one can make you act like anything. No matter what they do, no one can make you do anything. Once I realized my power and my control, and that I have the power to create my own happiness and my own destiny, that's when I was like, okay, you know, I have all this power. What do I do with it? Connected my self-happiness and my self-worth to the situation that I was in was very, very, very hard to do, but it has a lot to do with what you accept and what you allow. And just like RuPaul says, if you don't love yourself, how are you gonna love someone else? You have to literally know where you are lacking, and if it is in the self-worth area. I am so happy that I went through the situations that I went through, because if I did not go through those things, put myself in therapy and really start recognizing my patterns and taking accountability for my actions, and that I'm actually in this situation and I'm miserable in this relationship because I'm allowing myself to be here. If I wasn't able to notice those things, then I would not be the woman I am today. I'm gonna put on my Karen and Rita earrings. These are the maxis. I named them maxi because they are maximalist vibes. I'm trying to think if I should put on lip gloss. I think I'm gonna just leave it like this. This is pretty. You can get these earrings down below. I'm gonna link them, so make sure you check them out. And there's a whole bunch of other fun and funky and cool earrings on the website. As you guys know, I went through a lot in the past like year or two, and honestly being very transparent on social media has been really scary for me. But I've been getting a lot of courage from you guys in the DMs and in the comments, you know, letting me know that it's okay to do it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. This is the makeup look. Make sure you guys are subscribing right now. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you guys so much, and I'll see you in my next girl chat. Bye guys.
Hey, already got the world on me. Give a pretty brown girl her space. You can keep your bitter. I'ma make a better way. Hey, hey, nigga, catch a break.